Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Malin. Welcome, Davida. We should have a few more people coming today, but let me know how you guys feel. You guys can unmute and talk. If you want to go on camera, you can as well. But let's go on. Okay, so welcome, everybody. Next week, I'm going to record this one. This way, everybody wants to see as well. Next week, we're going to have our challenge introduction. Everybody that takes a challenge and want to be eligible for the prize will need to be here and also be on camera, because obviously we do want to have some sort of like, the prize that comes inside our challenge, despite this obviously being for all the people inside the program it's a 250, I believe, euro for the winner for the challenge. Therefore, we're gonna request that everybody comes to the initial call. If you cannot not make it somehow, you can still participate. Obviously, the drawing will not include people that cannot meet in the beginning, because there are specific things that needs to happen in the first call. With this being said, let's kick off this is not a presentation, this is a Q&A. So it's mostly to see how you guys are doing. Who wants to start? I'd like everybody to talk if possible. If you guys are in need of anything, then let's see who else is coming, because I know that we have at least 6 or 7 people, and maybe they're gonna show up late, who knows. Anyway, Davida, Malin, do you guys have any question? Do you have anything? Because we are just us for the moment, and obviously we want to take advantage of the time, as later might be more people, and then we need to go through anybody. Any question? You guys can unmute. You guys can talk. Good seeing you, Davida. Do you have any question?
Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I've just been sick. So I haven't been able to catch up on any information about this challenge. So I
Okay,
don't know anything at this point.
let's actually talk about it a little bit. And again, it's like it's just gonna be a brief introduction, and we'll talk about more so like next week. In all honesty, I was hoping to have, like, obviously most people in the group here, has something that has included, right, for all of you, and I'm happy because you guys always take challenges, so that's amazing. I was hoping to get like a huge group, and obviously we'll do a huge work to promote this thing for the people inside the group, for that is not in the program, for the people even traffic that is not inside yet in our ecosystem. And the catch is simple for them. It's like they need, because unlike you guys that do the work all the time, people that don't tend to take challenges, we need to incentivize them to actually take challenge. So obviously the prize will be a big prize. I want somebody to go away with 250, and I said it in a video. Last year it was 50, and right now we have a huge, we're on the map now, so it's 250, and next year chances are it's 500 or 1,000, right? So we really want to make these big challenges a big group. I'm a little bit bumped up because I see that we did request 2 things. It's like, for people that are not clients, we want a testimonial, and we want them to put a deposit of 250 for them to actually do the work. If they get to the end, despite any, it's not about performance, it's about them doing the work. So they're gonna have the logs, they're gonna have stuff that you guys have already, and therefore it's like they basically getting me and Dory for the month for giving them the app and everything. We want them to do the work. If they do the work, then they would get returned the deposit, because they would have a testimonial. Funnily enough, in the past we ran challenges like that, and people tend to continue. Obviously, full disclosure, why we're doing this is because we want them to to become possibly good clients, and we want you, that you are clients, to go through the holiday, which is the most difficult time inside of the year, for you guys not to gain any weight, right? So this is kind of like what we're talking about, and relatively, I did put out the message, and again, that proved my point. People tend to do nothing when they're not, incentivized in any way, because it's like, you guys are a client and you guys taking the challenge anyway. For people that are not, this is a way for them to get free coaching essentially if they can commit to the fact that they're gonna do work for 21 days. Yeah. So because I know that they do work for 21 days, then they have a chance to win 250 to 50. So in addition for them to getting their deposit back, they would win 250. Somebody, right? But aside from that, what I want to talk about is like what the challenge is about is a big challenge. So it's 21 days. And the first week is really going to be learnings. We're going to go through, the mindset through the holidays, why people cannot compensate the binges, how not to get attached to the scale. And then of course you're already getting the not only all the frameworks, but the workouts and stuff that you guys are getting already. It started next Monday and it finished Monday, January 8th. And throughout this period of time, we will go over all new videos that I'm going to make. And also I'm going to tag you in the guides section, which is already, we do have already the, some of you were here, some of you even watching the replay, you were not here the first time around. But if you go to the, what is this thing? If you go to the first, what is challenge, mini challenges? I'm looking, yeah, there you go. So last year around this time, see that I think the winner was to win. No, this was the big Cravings challenge. Maybe I did not. Yeah, holiday challenge. There you go. So we did that last year, and how to move throughout it. So some of them is gonna be data that you can go back and watch, and obviously there's gonna be new content. It's exciting. It's like two time of the year that people struggle with for the weight. It's holidays and summer, usually when traveling, simply because they cannot compensate those 20, 30, 50,000 calorie surplus in about 2 weeks. And therefore, we need to get clear on why this is happening and what we can do. And we're going to go into all the learnings. Monday we'll kick off this, we're going to have this video here similar, and we'll talk about all those things. And obviously, hopefully, if you guys can make it even better. So hopefully I answered the question. It's simple. It's like, if you want to participate, just try to be here next week and then just follow the posting. Is simple. We're gonna have specific posting to do because they're relevant, right? For example, there's gonna be one that talks about the holiday binges. Let's say you guys are all gonna eat food, but you're all gonna eat different stuff, and clarity for you and awareness is gonna be the key. Like if you can be clear on how much more or less you're getting in, and then like when it's posted, then me and Dori can go inside and give you the awareness about that. Then it's it's much easier than to be able to know what to do the other days. So this is kind of like, hopefully that answers the question. Do you have anything else for anything regarding to your own journey? Like, oh, there you go. You're unmuted.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not at this point. I'm really happy that I've gotten back into a regular workout routine. And even though I didn't do 2 times last week because I was sick, it was perfectly fine to get back into it today. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that.
Sick. Me too. Like I just finally feeling better after so long. But I keep pretty much every check-in that I send, somebody tells me, "Oh, I'm sick. I have COVID, or I have this thing. I don't know what it is, and it feels like COVID. Maybe it is, maybe not." How do you feel, Malin? You okay? I haven't heard from you much, so I don't know if you want to.
Right. Yeah. No, I am fine. I'm struggling with finding time to go to the gym. Since I'm back in school 100% full time, and I'm working 75%.
Wow.
So yeah, and with my horse and everything, it just I will be single if I go to the gym also, but no, not really. No, not really. I have plenty of support, but I'm thinking of trying to find ways to work out at home from home, and I'm also struggling with not finding that to be a failure on my part. I'm back at not doing what I think I should be doing is worse than actually doing something whatever.
So it's like, I think that if this, because again, you don't have to see it like either on or off. Sometimes you want to be seeing like momentary changes, meaning like you're going through this period now that it needs to be, you need to focus on also something else. So what happens is that it's best then for us to change your workouts for something at home, which I can easily do, because we're still in kind of like way lost acceleration in a sense. Means like you can still do that at home. It's probably better to set some realistic goals at home that you can potentially do 2 or 3 times. If I give you 3 routines and then you do 2, that's the goal, for example, then it makes you feel like you're going towards whatever you said mentally that you're going to do, right? Because if you cannot get to the gym, then it makes no sense for you to every week to feel, oh, I know I should, but I can't. But it's not a realistic, basically it's not realistic, the goal, right? As long as in fact, I'm going to make a note here. In fact, actually, let me just pull it up because I want to make sure how where we are on that sense. But then I'll make a note that will change to a home workout for you, just to give you that. But aside from that, then it can be momentary in a sense. It's like you don't have to, you can do that, for example, let's say for a month or whatever the case is. And then when you indeed can find more time or can find a way to make the gym happen, then you can just come back. You could also technically stay into home workout if that's provide the results, because again, it's like when you reach to a much lower fat percentage and you want to focus on the build of the muscle, the tone and everything, then is when we really need the gym. Before that, potentially, like we can also get it done. We can also get it done the other way, because again, it doesn't help for you to constantly feel not, it doesn't help to constantly feel not reaching a goal, right? So we know that here we have see, this is gym. I mean, like if you had these things, you can do it at home too. So it's like, it's really up to you, but do you mean like you want to get some sort of like body weight type of workout at home?
I want, I'm not sure I know what you mean about, but you mean
like you have those weights at home or no?
I don't have weights at home, no.
Okay, so then we need to make it like body weight, because the way that now it's structured is the gym is like you go to the gym and you have the weights, right? Those exercises that you saw before, you could potentially do at home if you had weights. But if you don't, then we need to make it like body weight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Body weight then.
For the rest, I mean, still, the progress are there. I mean, now let me see how much we go back, as you see.
It's way back.
So you want to be updating these things. Just to remember, not taking those or not putting them there doesn't mean like, whatever is happening is happening. In other words, it's like, I don't know if it's your case. I'm assuming that it was mostly because of the time constraint, but a lot of people don't tend to do check-ins, don't tend to do the measurements just because they feel, oh, I gain back weight or whatever, or I'm momentarily like kind of losing structure, right? You not facing the facts of what they are doesn't make them disappear, right? So we want to make sure that those are clear of what we have, because even if it's like is a sit back or, for example, but then you go back to where we need to go, we have all the data, right? Because now we know that essentially, I don't know if you know now your current measurement, but now we know that we're working with 1,800 calorie the last time we chat, right? I don't know if that's something that is still doable for you. If then, according to what you're telling me, we can also switch those around. For the holiday, what we're gonna do as a group, even if you guys are all individual prescription, if you want to call it that, as a group, we're gonna kind of like show you, okay, maybe you keep your prescription throughout, let's say maybe the 22nd or whatever, when you guys start eating, like those 3-4 days of that week, plus the week of the year, then we can start really underestimating or say more so restricting for about a week, except for those 2 days. So this is is almost like a prescription that is equal more or less for everybody. With that means it's like, doesn't matter if you're 1800 and somebody's 2000, we're gonna basically say you guys gonna cut your calorie for about 30% more than usual for those 3 days, for example, just an example, right? Because this way it's like, because the holiday, usually if you eat more and you cannot do, obviously you're gonna need, the only way for you to supersede that surplus is basically moving more somehow those days or working out those days. Because otherwise you have to, like, again, the problem is that people are not aware of what to do. And one thing we're gonna talk about is like, you know, you can be a little bit more restrictive throughout the week, a little bit equal, or you can just be very restricted the day of, or the day before, or the day after, meaning like, you know that you're gonna have a big dinner, and that dinner is easily making up 5, 6, 10,000 calories, depending. Some people will. Then it's better than to basically skip. It's one of those one time that intermittent fasting makes sense. In, you know, something like a day like that, right? So this is kind of what it is. So are you currently following that the 1800 still, or you basically just trying more or less to be on, what are you doing with nutrition? Because according to the workout, I also want to modify that if we need.
I am sticking to the plan.
Okay. Yeah.
I struggle to make it to 1800 within the balance of
meaning like it's too much for you, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's hard to get all of the
okay.
protein.
So let's actually make it more realistic. I'll do it now this way. I don't kind of like, I'll put down 1600, and this is basically, it's not gonna change much, honestly, but it's more so it's gonna give you something a little bit closer to what's going on in the holiday, because some days in the holiday you will stay to a 16 something hundred like that is, you don't get to 18, but then there is going to be a few days that even if you think about a few desserts more, you know what I mean, it's like you might or you might not, I'm assuming, if you eat some cookies or whatever. But anyway, I see more realistic. There is no reason why we want to overfeed you if you don't necessarily get there. It's better that you just stick to lower, and then on your logs, if indeed you have a day that is more or two, that's no problem. We're just gonna log that.
Right.
But make sure that you take your most recent picture and actual measurements. And even if you keep now 1 month or so, like just put in there the more recent. This way we have that graph. We know how you're doing according to what you did, your logs. Now it's gonna reflect the facts, meaning like, because again, the body tends to adapt, and we need to kind of like see what we can get away with, basically, purely for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I kind of worry about my new situation, working out really hard during school time, since I'm forging horseshoes, and then you know, it's heavy work, and
it's up to you. Like you just have, like, I can put a routine. Let's say that I think the minimum is 2 at home, but you can also just do 1. You don't need to, or you can also, if 1 week you're completely tired, you can also skip it.
No, I don't want to skip it. I want to work out at home because I need core strength, and I need to be able to crawl in under a horse and then lift their legs and everything. So I want to do the work. I just don't get to the gym as of yet.
Okay. Well, but you need to be kind of like, again, if you can make it to the gym, that's fine. But you have to always thinking about like what is realistic, right? It's like, if we have 3 times a week inside the gym, and therefore it would be, if you're thinking in a month is 12 times, and then you can make it 2 times in the gym, and then 10 times you don't go despite you needing to go. That doesn't help. It's more useful than that you just go 2 or 3 times at home, and you know, out of 10 times you get 7 of those done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, remember, your body also tends to be adapting. So it's okay if you do one, body weight workout at home. It's gonna be a little bit more cardio, right? It's gonna be more.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get. You remember when we did the challenge, workout? Like it's gonna be something of that nature for maybe like I don't know, maybe like a month, and then you tell me, hey, I think gonna go back to the gym. I'm gonna plan it or whatever. We just need to always have realistic goals because otherwise, I'd rather you do something at home that is gonna speed you up through the holidays, gonna give your body something different to work with, then because it's nice to have the goal, but then if you cannot, there is only like you work in 75% or whatever, or would you just say, 75 hours, whatever. Like if you work in too much and then you don't have the time, literally, then it's not gonna happen, even if you want to go.
I work 30 hours a week and I study full time. And I have a horse. I see 4
Imagine.
times a
Yeah,
week.
it's like you also don't want to go to the gym when you have no energy, honestly, because
Right,
that's if you, let's say you potentially you can go because it's like you can make it happen, but then you go and you end up just overtraining yourself and stressing yourself. That's gonna do you worse than not go.
Yeah, but my concern was regarding amount of calories. I think I was worried since the work is practical. I'm working during school hours. It's not sitting down and writing. It's working hard. I was worried that 1,600 calories is too little to be so active.
It honestly it sounds like, but then you just told me you cannot even get 1,800.
Yeah, but that's because of my stomach surgery. I can eat 3 deciliters at a time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, okay, yeah, because it does make sense. That's why I told you in the beginning. So let's put it back then. Because the thing is that realistically, you probably need, I can put back 1850, right? So the thing is like this. This is why we need to get those measurements because we need to see, probably if you look on the paper, you should probably supposed to eat something like 2,000, honestly, like the way you move around, probably more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you can, like, then if you take those measurements and you, let's say you don't lose weight or you stay the same or even you gain some, then your body is adapting. So then now we need to look at strategies to go from phase 1 to phase 2 again, right? Because ever since you started, you've been in phase 2, like your body is very reactive. If instead you lost 2 or 3 kilo more, yeah, then you're really in a deficit already, right? So that then it's just like, but when you say I cannot get, it sounds like you don't feel like you want to be eating that, and it's like then you don't want to overfeed you, because again, it's like there will be a point in your life that your body is gonna backlash really hard, and then you're gonna have real hunger, and then you might go back to binge eat. Like your body's gonna make you want to binge eat, and the only way for you to not binge eat is constantly getting you to 2,000, 2,100, 22, and we're gonna need to do that with consciousness as well, not having you choose a bunch of like desserts, So yeah, that's so you can use the fact that you are not feeling hunger right now as a benefit. But I didn't understand that it was because if there is something constraining you and you just need to do liquid meals, or that's another problem. So then, yeah, I would just get really nutritious meal in there, even if it's liquid, eating those calories more or less between 18 to something like that, just to maintain.
It isn't liquid. I had the surgery 8 years ago, so it's my whatever it's called in English. I can eat 3 deciliters of food during one sitting, and I could whip cream and mash an avocado into it and eat that. I could and get the calories, but I want the balance of protein, carbs, and fat.
Yeah,
I don't just want to like stuff myself with bad choices just to get up
so
to.
then it's like you just need more frequent meal, meaning like,
Yeah.
and again, you're gonna need to find a way to make either to plan it, or obviously the problem is the logistic and the environment when you're really working hard and you don't have time to eat and so forth. But the question is like, are you clear on how to make protein priority at this point? Because that's kind of, I think, based on what you're telling me, I mean,
Yeah, I do. I
right?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to get as much protein as I can, but then that's very filling, and I don't get to eat the carbs. Seriously, the carbs are the problem. I
Because
don't get to eat.
don't get enough.
No.
Yeah, just
Uh,
I don't know.
so I need carb dense food, so I can.
Okay, okay.
That's
So
also good.
okay.
Yeah.
Let me just show you. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's not that difficult. That maybe it's gonna give you some help here. Well, you wanna be watching this again,
Mm.
and based on
Yeah.
you want to be eating food. You see how this one is like carbs, right? For
Mm-hmm.
example, um, go for the dates. Go for dried fruit. It's much
Yeah.
it's much easier to eat that than to eat this in this case, because if you go
Right.
with a fiber, but you need to pay attention to how much you're eating, because it's in an heartbeat you're gonna find yourself eating 10 dates and now you ingest 300 calories.
Right.
Yeah, but on the same way, some people, as with all the respect, they have the opposite most of the time. The issue is like if they eat this, then they're hungry, so they
Mm.
just need to go with something of this nature here, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of like to control the hunger thing, but then you also need to look at the nutritious part. All these things are very good in nutrition. It's like these are very alkaline. All the dried things are very much alkaline, more than just this one. These are, for example, kiwis are so high in vitamin C. So depending what you need, avocado is one of the best foods ever as far as nutrition, but it's very highly dense. If you get like a full avocado, it's almost 400 calories at some point, depending the size. It's a bunch of fat. There is some protein, some carbs in there, but you want to be both on this and also on the starch, right? If you're doing rice cake, it's gonna take you forever to eat
Yeah.
3 of those. It's gonna take you, but then if you get bread, easily you can get like a bread. 100 grams of bread is usually 400. Another module that I just added, by the way, the plant-based. So we have some vegan or vegetarian. I just had from the.
Oh wow.
This is the new thing. If you guys wanna know how to make a full protein, you guys can go ahead and look. This is a video that I made back in the days, back in the second chance. It's actually a pretty good video. And also the cravings control. This is also became a guide that I put out to the public as well. Best food to control. I mean, this video shows you what you will see in this guide. And it's like, again, it's mostly for people that has the opposite problem that you're saying. In fact, if you want to be eating more food, then you would choose these things. If you want to be eating less, if you need to get in the calorie with the right balance, then you just go with liquid meals. That's easier. If you're struggling to eat, you either go with dried stuff or with liquid meals, because even liquid is like, if you want to get the carbs in, what do? It's simple. It's like you want to get a banana, for instance, or some other things, then you can get oatmeal, the flakes, and then you
Yeah.
just throw them in there, and then you blend everything.
Okay. Yeah.
It's easy. It's like that basically get a, let's say a shake would maybe be 200 calorie of only like protein. Then you had those two things, and now you have almost like a full meal, 500 calorie, and then you also have a lot less struggle with the digestion too, because like even not only from the structural part, which is the stomach, but also for the digestion is much easier. I tend to do this trick for people that maybe for, how they read that now they have to take off breakfast or whatever. So then, if you do that for a few years, your body is not used to get breakfast because you tend to eat late in the night. Then you're in the sleep is not even good because you're busy digesting food. And then in the morning you need to maybe restart instead of nothing, just those shakes. There is also people that struggle with the opposite. It's like for me, for instance, sometimes when I know I'm going to work out just in the morning or whatever, I'm waking or whatever, depending my hours, which are crazy, then I eat. I know, for example, I eat rice cakes. Like yesterday, I just had rice cakes with, you just buy them, small rice cake with on top of like dark chocolate or whatever. I mean, is a huge amount of calorie and carb, but I know that this one I will be using when I wake up or whatever, when I work, because it's like, it's essentially your body is better sometimes that it digest those things, even if it's like 8 hours or whatever. If you are in a calorie deficit, you're not gonna store it mostly, right? So, so at the end of the day, it's like depends. It's always that's why when they ask me, it's like there is not a universal answer. It depends. Like some people will prefer, some people, but this is what I would do if I was you. So just go with the right stuff. Like, again, have a respect. Like just have a sense. A good exercise is like you weigh them once, and or you know that okay, one date you go behind, right? It's like the label when you read. It's like okay, the dates are, I don't know, 100 grams is like, now I don't remember what, but let's say is 300 calorie or whatever, sugar, whatever, right? Because it's basically sugar, but it's good in a sense. If there is anything like such a thing as good sugar, that's good sugar because it's like it's alkaline and everything. But then like you just take one of those scale and you just put 5 of them and it's like, oh, this is 50, 60 grams. Now you know. Next time you know that this can be your, your in school or whatever, when or working, whatever the case is, this is my snack.
Yeah. Lovely.
So, yeah, if you
Because
don't have a problem prioritizing protein, then carb it's easy, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I haven't experienced hunger in 8 years. So hunger is never hasn't been an issue for me for
So it's
8
good.
years.
Yeah. So it's good.
Yeah. So yeah.
So get that
Thank
data in to for sure. Get the data in to see more or less what is you're respecting the protocol. So let's see what the body is getting back at you in where we stand. And then from there, to hit that amount, then you just want to be slowly getting that in. And again, there will be some changes to be made throughout the holidays versus regular when we are not.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Good share. We got Marcela here, we got Astrid, we got Claudia. Who wants to unmute? So David and Malin already spoke. Who has any question about their own situation, about anything? We did talk about the challenge. We'll see the replay for next week. Because I know all of you intend to take it, so that's gonna be very good here. Anybody, let's go. Come on. We still have 3 people. And
I don't have a question, but I want to say something to Malin. What for me works is oatmeal also. I like it very much, but what I do is just what Jerry said. It's a really great idea. I put a protein shake through my oatmeal because I have the same problem as you. I can't come to my protein. The grams are too low. I don't have the issue that I don't have hunger or cravings. I really am hungry sometimes. That's why I'm on diet break, and cravings are really, well, an issue. So that's why I do protein. I have chocolate protein through my oatmeal. Is really, really nice. So try it.
that's good. Yeah, you want to just for the protein again. I think like once you learn how to anything that you can think of to start, like it can be any meal. You just want to be starting to build the protein part. So if it's a lunch, dinner, you just want to choose anything, what's going to be your side. If it's the morning, it depends what you're in the mood for. If it's soury or if it's sweet, then it's going to be a different choice. And the snack, in my opinion, nowadays is becoming so easy. It's like I just got this in Switzerland. We have this Sky R thing. I don't know if I think maybe I showed it. Not, it was somebody else.
Yeah.
The Sky R's, and it's like 4 grams of sugar or maybe 8. Then we have 4 grams of sugar, 15, 20 protein, and almost no fat, and it tastes amazing. So it's like, one time you do that, one other time you can have a bar. Sometimes we have, I mean, it's in my opinion, it's becoming super easy. So these things, by the way, has been only available, like this kind of like sweet, like protein puddings, and it's just like it was not available for so many years. Definitely not when I was training in the gym. Like we're talking only about maybe like 15 years ago. they didn't have so many. There was this protein powder that they taste like crap, and you know, when you made the shake, there was, and I love the cat. There was this, you know, it was casein as well. There was a whey, but it was mostly casein, and you know, there was like when you shake them, they were not even dissolving. It tastes like, you know, not good. And then you know, not to mention about lactose intolerance. For example, I mean, nothing happens to me if I drink milk, but on the lab, I am lactose intolerance homozygote, which is like essentially it's hard. And apparently, it seems like my ferritin problem was mainly related to that. It could be many things, but it was definitely related to that. So, not to mention, now you go to the store, even in Switzerland, which is not like in US that you have every single thing. Germany, I know he has even more. That is more or less like US. Don't know about Netherlands and Sweden and everything, but I know that you got like everybody. But now even in Switzerland, you go there and you have pre-made, you know, protein thing, you know, lactose free. You know, you have thing like, so right now you find pretty much everything, you know, gluten free, lactose free, whatever, like anything that one thing that now this is like, I still have to actually go back and read this thing, you know, 30 diets or whatever. There is a book that they made only for the gut health, meaning like when you have gastritis or FODMAPs and all. I'm probably gonna get that book, even though I don't like to read, honestly. Like I like to, I'm more so I like to audiobook. I would hear every day. To read
Me
is
too.
I cannot read for I hate it. But it's like some things are only you can only read. So you need to read it, and obviously you need to keep up the education somehow. But anyway, there are so many things. Yeah, and you just need to be able to distinguish the truth versus the manufacturing of what they want you to believe. But when you have that, like, if indeed your body is not meant to digest certain stuff, now you have the chance to do it. It's really structure. It's really planning. It's like sometimes you people allows the chaos to take over, and then you're like, oh yeah, then I don't want to cook. Then it's like you're just gonna take the easy thing, and then that easy thing is usually not doesn't help. But you know, keep going on it, and like if you feel like sometimes you're confused, even post and everything, and you know, we'll find a way to direct you more towards the. But aside from that, I think you're doing good on that. So I saw that. Anything else, Astrid, you wanted to share, or you're good, right?
No, you're right. There's so much protein things, and what I like is the chocolate mousse protein, because my chocolate is still my guilty pleasure.
Have you tried to do that soufflé that I posted?
Yeah,
Have you
yeah.
tried?
Yeah, it's not went not so nice what it looks in your video,
But
but it tasted
mine
great.
doesn't look nice. Like that's about the look. That's a one thing. Let me just since that we have here, I saw that we have Claudia that she cannot talk. So I know that some I don't know, Marcela, she has something she wanna say. But anyway, I want to share this because I know that this is something that somebody's gonna see the video, and as always, I don't want the fact that sometimes stuff are not clear from preventing from people to take action. So let me just actually get there, because this is actually pretty, we like to call it the lava cake because there is a dessert called that.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it doesn't look pretty. It's just effective, okay?
Well,
It's not
it's prettier than mine.
okay. So basically, what makes this the game changer of this thing is that it's really fulfilling. So
Yeah.
Malin, for you, probably easier just to get the chocolate, that's it. Because this is actually hard. It's like the 30 grams of oatmeal, of oats that you just grain, like you need to kind of like blend it into a blender, whatever. That's kind of like the key, because it's gonna make those things like to be the base of that, right? Then you take pudding, chocolate, or vanilla, even vanilla, because you're not gonna feel much of a but right now we're still talking, everything is still cold. So it's like you grain this, it's cold, and then you put in the vanilla is still cold, and you start melting it with a spoon. Then you take 20 grams or maybe even less, 10 grams of cocoa powder. That's fiber. So that's gonna give more consistency, but it's gonna give you fulfillment as well. Then optional, but if you want more protein, you just put 2 egg whites in there, or even you can just do one, right? Then you put like some sort of milk, skim milk or lactose-free milk, depending what, or if you are a person that likes soy, or if you're a person that like, I don't know, just any type of milk. And then this again this is to make, if you want to be more, because already it's full of protein already. I think the whole thing is like almost 50 grams. So when you say I'm struggling with protein, understand if you do this meal correctly, you're getting 50% of your protein in a meal. Yeah. So there is no limit of your body being able to absorb. You know how people say that? There is no real limit. Not there is no study showing that. So we can think is you can absorb the whole thing, but if you're gonna put now the protein, this is gonna be very, very fulfilling to eat. It might even be, and then you basically going like this the whole thing, and then you put in the microwave and you go 30 seconds at a time, 20 maybe. You just go 20 and you're gonna see that it's gonna melt. Oh, I forgot. The kicker, the one thing that makes it really good, the taste, you take 2 or 3 square of whatever chocolate you want. Whatever chocolate. Meaning like if you wanna go healthy, you go 90% dark. But if you want to go something that is you're gonna love, you put either Nutella or you put something like, if you have Kit Kat, let's say you like Kit Kat or Ovaltine or whatever, you put a square of those and you're gonna put it on top and you're gonna start 20 seconds of blending it. Like you warm it up and then you will do like that. And then you do 20 more seconds in the microwave until that you see it's gonna be almost like a, not a cross, but something a little bit on top is gonna be like that. And then you take it off and then you start, like you can eat it. On the bottom is gonna be warm. On top is gonna be really hot, but it's gonna be also crunchy.
Yeah.
So it's
I
fulfilling.
really liked it.
Yeah, fulfilling, full of protein, but the real kicker
With the pear. I did the pear also. That was really nice.
The pear is optional. I wanted to make it pretty, but it's not that it's not in like it's not that the taste part is really the chocolate.
Yeah, but it's really nice with the pear.
Yeah. If you choose whatever chocolate you like, is the real kicker. Because that gives it makes you feel you're eating a full thing of your chocolate, but it's not. It's more so, and the grains, the hot part, it makes it so the texture, it sounds like you're actually eating a souffle.
Yeah.
So if you didn't include that, is a different thing. Like it's not gonna taste it. Well, you're not gonna feel full, but it's not gonna even taste it. So now you see how we went really precise into just one of these things. I post a bunch of those and I say to everybody that even not in a program, the group is free. Go inside, look at this thing and do it.
Yeah,
like,
I'm trying. There are a lot of recipes.
No, it's like, now I'm saying people in general, and this is like, if I made a video, if I made a call, just describing how you cook this thing, this is potentially already a diet that you have. Seriously, like you could go without any structure, just looking at this, and it's like, oh, 500 calories. How much is a pasta normally? 1,500.
Yeah.
So you're basically eating dirty food, if you want to call it, like food that everybody likes. And again, this is an example. Again, you're using 50 or 70, it could be 70 gram, it could be 80 gram. We're not necessarily, there is no rule in the kitchen, right? But it's like the shrimp is what makes the difference. Cream cheese, light cream cheese, right? If you're lactose intolerant, you want to be using one that is no, like that. Grana doesn't have lactose inside. So that's another thing. I don't know if somebody know, this is, you can go like that. 100 millimeter, like all this basically this cheese thing, you want to be taking a different pan and you want to, melt it off, whatever. The shrimp goes in a different pan. The pasta, you cook it separately, and then if you want, you can put some onions in there, and then you just mix all together, and you get, this thing tastes amazing. And it's like, you basically getting a quarter of the calories that you would get just this is easy. This is actually good, one of the best things. This tastes like pizza for real. And
I have to try it then.
But whoever sees this replay, if you're in the program, again, try. I think I must already spoke about that. But if somebody watched it or not, I mean, just eat like that. You know, this is kind of like the funny part. When we say over 40, you really need carbs, you need to eat more food, you need to be less stressing about, restricting, is actually the real thing. So you could potentially eat a bunch of like amazing foods that, as long as you can just stay within those confines of guidance, right? Then after that, you can just, okay, that's one step, number one. Then step number two is actually understanding what's going on. Somebody that needs to lose a bunch of kilo. Yeah, then maybe there is some structural thing that we need to watch. If you do 50% of this recipe, 50% of like better nutrition in general, we changing lives right away, simply after a month. But good, glad.
But are those two recipes one serving each?
Yeah, anything is under 600 calories. So essentially it's like, depending, I don't like to think in servings because again, it depends. I like to think more or less into, let's say you said you had 2000, right? Instead of 1800, or better say you have 1800, you do 3 meals of 500, right? And then you do one snack, or that day, maybe you don't have a snack, depending if you're hungry. So essentially, if you're a person that likes to eat those things in dinner, in lunch, the pasta, you eat it in lunch. If you're a person that needs the carb in the night to sleep better, you eat in the night. So there is no real structure. If you're an athlete that you need to either run or go on stage or whatever, that's different. Then we look at the timing. That's a little bit more of a situation, right? If you are insulin resistant, we need to look at the timing. But again, when you don't have essentially problems, then it's just like, it's really up to you. So it's better to, and again, I'm using those kind of recipes right now mostly as a filler, as food that it's kind of like treat. It's like, if I go out, I don't know, out with friends or on a date or whatever, and then like those usually is gonna be kind of like a day off, right? Like not a meal off. Or if I have, Sunday, whatever, I want to have, I like to go to McDonald's and I get that, and then I go and get, donuts or whatever the case is. I know that that's kind of like, almost like, okay, that's my choice when I can, let's say an hour on the holiday, whatever. Or then when it's like a regular day and I really feel like I'm gonna need some cravings to whatever, I'm not gonna fight it anymore. I've done it so many times, and again, it's like sometimes it's worse, sometimes it doesn't. I got times that I got to think over, and it's like, okay, now I'm just gonna sit with the emotion or whatever. I'm gonna eat instead. I'm gonna eat something else. You just end up, you have the chips here, and just end up eating this one, eating this, eating something salty just to make this go away. It doesn't go away. At the end of the day, you just ate 600-700 calories, and plus you're gonna eat the chips. It makes no sense. Just eat it, and that's it. And that means like it's a psychological trigger. But for the most part, I'm using those food, which is technically a mind fix, if you want to call it that, because essentially you just give the body what it wants, the taste, but to a much lower calorie, and you're using those to feel. And then whenever you're not struggling, whenever you're busy anyway, then you eat just a bunch of other stuff that is health, that just, okay, vegetable, the classical meal, whatever. Another good thing that my colleague, the guy I spoke to you guys about, that he said is very good, not only scientifically, but is also very good is a good snack, but is also good pre-workout. Dark chocolate, 1 square, obviously, with coconut oil. You know how the coconut oil is solid. You can just do that like that, and and you eat those things, and it tastes. It's like a dessert almost. Obviously, it's 1 square, but that seems to be because I'm not as a coach. I would say maybe should do more of, but I'm not any longer just putting my hours in there into look for peer back review and study after study. Just to at the end of the day, you're more confused than ever. Like I just go with the people that do that the whole day, and I just pick whatever they do and I say, okay, yeah, that's that. If they say it's like that, chances are it's gonna be right. And so I can tell you with intent, based on what I saw, that this is a good, very good snack. Yeah, and that's a very good snack according to science. My soufflé is not according to science; it's according to logic. If 10 people get it and they're full and they lose weight and it works, then it's working. We don't need to publish a study for that. But I can tell you that the coconut oil has property for that, and the dark chocolate has property for that. So if you want to add like a real snack to make it like pre-workout, if you haven't ate anything, just get that. It's gonna be available right away, and it's gonna be very functional. I hope this helped. So here I was reading before, so Claudia's not gonna talk. Good, no problem. And what about Marcela? Can you hear me? Do you have anything for me? Do you want to talk about anything? Because otherwise, I think we went through everybody. I don't know if somebody was still gonna show up. But again, no showing up. Do you have anything, Marcela, or also you? Maybe you're also busy. Not sure. Okay, if nobody needs to talk more, I hope this was helpful. We're gonna put the replay, and again, one more time at the end as well, for those of you that came in later. Next week is gonna be our kickoff for the challenge. I require everybody that wants to take that, actually not recap, everybody that actually wants to win the prize, that to be here that day on camera is a requirement, because we obviously want to make that a little bit, the challenge is something that needs to be shown. Yeah, so it's quite important. If you cannot make it, no problem. You can still take the whole challenge. The only thing, obviously, you don't get into the raffle in that sense, because we want to, especially the people that are not in the program, to show up. This is important. Somebody is gonna win 250 euro this year, which next year is gonna be 500 at the minimum. I want people to actually take some work for that. Yeah, that this is quite important. So next week, this is what we're looking at. With this being said, and we're gonna talk about it next week, the winner will not just be a raffle. It will be a real people that actually do the real, like, more work. So we didn't, I think one challenge before Dori was an assistant coach. She won it because she did all the above and more. She went in, she did the skin fold, she did the research about it. So, the challenge that we're gonna do this year is gonna be something of that nature. You're gonna be requested, if you want to do the challenge well, you probably gonna go live one time inside the group. Will be requested to post your cookies or whatever whenever you eat, so that, again, the more the work you're gonna do, more will be kind of like, if there is a clear winner to me, I'm gonna say, okay, the winner is according to this and this and this. We're not even gonna raffle it. If there is 3 people that do the work and there is a huge ball of angle, huge transformation, I'm not gonna reward the one that has more transformation. I'm gonna reward, out of 3 people, they're gonna go on a raffle, all the 3, because all the 3 deserve it, in a sense. So the challenge ultimately is, and obviously the real scope of the challenge is for you guys to not gain any weight and to learn everything that you need to possibly even lose it throughout the holidays. How can you do that? You need to actually do the work. You need to, it's not enough to show up and watch other people do it. No, you need to test. You need to kind of like, really be aware about what you're eating those days. You need to see, do those 10,000 steps those days. You know what I mean? It's like something that you need to find a time to do it, whatever. And it's like, because only when you test on you can see, oh, cool, that's what I'm gonna probably request. Actually, let me write it down before I forget. This is actually something I just remember now, and I'm making the whole, because I want to put a lot of new content for the challenge. And one post that is gonna be the scale post, right? The scale post, because I can tell you that if you gain 2 kilos, what you need to do it, but you need to actually take the scale post, you scale and post, and it's like, oh, the day after I really gain 1 kilo, and then maybe you go live and you say, wow, yeah, I thought I was gonna gain more, I only gained 2 kilos or 1 kilo, whatever. It's like, whenever you do that, now you're in charge, you're actually learning. It's like when you, like Malin, you just went back to thing you teach at school or whatever, but it's like when I was in university, I can only learn when I'm practicing, not when I see other people doing it. And this is important. This is why for all you guys, it's like something that of course is included because I know you guys do the work. For the other people, the other folks not in the program, we're charging a deposit for it because we actually want them to do the work. It's not enough for them to watch other people. I don't think it's fair for anybody to win a prize like that when you don't deserve it. Yeah. So this is basically what we're gonna be requesting. The biggest win is gonna be that people are actually gonna lose weight in the holiday, unlike most times when you gain weight in the holiday, or maybe you stay that if it's already gonna be a win if you stay the same, I think, because you're gonna have learned a bunch of stuff. If you instead lose it, it's like, wow, now you really know how it works. And then next holiday is gonna be good. Guess what? February in most countries, like Switzerland included, is carnival. So same stuff, a bunch of people eat more. Then we're gonna have the summer, the second more difficult time of the year when it's to gain weight. So next time you travel, you're gonna know what to do because we're gonna have a day or a live that I'm gonna talk about that how to do when you travel in the holiday, right? Or when you travel in general. So it's gonna be quite an intense challenge. I'm gonna talk this Friday with Dory as well, for obviously for team meeting, but also we're gonna talk about some work we're gonna have to in the challenge, like how to frame it, how to come in. And so I'm really can like take this thing seriously because it's one of those that not that you guys don't take seriously the mini challenges, but this is an additional step of work needed. And the more you do, the better it's gonna be for all of you. So I hope this was helpful. But I see you all next Monday at 9, if you are in the challenge, obviously. If not, there is always going to be a replay, okay? Coach Jerry here. Again, if you need us, let us know. And welcome to all the new people as well. They might see the replay. Welcome to the program. And then, again, if you need us, we're always here. Take care and have an amazing evening. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye.